Why, hello there, my wonderful, terrible peoples. What am we going to do today? Hopefully it's not something super gross. Ew, answers in Genesis? Is that lot still around? Literal, god damn it. I mean, you know he doesn't real because he hasn't. Because these guys are just the worst. And if I found them talking for me, I would have smoted the ever-loving bejesus out of them. Okay, what you got? But it better not be that dude I confused with Ray Comfort because of the accent, and Kent Hovind because of the name, and food because I'm always hungry probably. I think he's called Hovind Steak. Yeah, that sounds right.
You know, I used to be a science teacher in the public schools in Australia.
Oh, of course, it was Ken Ham. Stupid me. Also, used is probably the operative word in that sentence. Like, I wonder why it's used and not currently. Probably something to do with being crap. I mean, you could say 'cause he am old and retired, but he hasn't been doing it for donkey's years. Also, science confirms the Bible. I have a funny feeling that that sentence is completely true. It's just part of a sentence that continues on to say, is a giant load of shite.
And one of the first science lessons I taught, one of the students said, "Sir."
Sir? That doesn't sound right. Aren't you Australian? I'm pretty sure the proper way to address a male in their culture is to call them cannot. Weird but true. I mean, when I visited, a day didn't go past when someone didn't call me a stupid cunt.
You're a Christian, that's right. Well, you believe the Bible, but that can't be true. We know the Bible's not true.
Oh look, it's a story from the big book of shit that never happened. No, not the Bible, the other one. Yeah, I don't believe that for a second, because it raises a bunch of questions like, do you tell everyone that you meet that you're a Christian? How do you know the kids even gave a shit that you were? No, I don't believe it. This is just another one of those tall tales that for some reason fundamentalists feel the need to tell each other about the world. About how they laid the smackdown on some guy or magically changed another's entire worldview by saying a few magical words. Or even just to show how oppressed you are. As one of the world's most dominant religions. Yeah, no, I don't buy it. Cool story, bro, but try again. And as always, needs more dragons.
Why is that? Because of what our textbooks teach us about ape men and about evolution.
Yeah, no one has ever said that. No one except, again, religious apology boys. The thing they don't understand is that that kind of gibberish goes to show how they don't know what they're talking about. There are humans, and there are their ancestors. Ape men is not a scientific term, because it doesn't make any sense. Stop watching movies and read a goddamn science textbook.
What I found was, when I was a teacher, that there were students in my classes in the public school who thought that they couldn't believe the Bible and they weren't prepared to listen to the message about Jesus Christ because their textbooks told them that they evolved and therefore, in their mind, the Bible wasn't true.
And how very dare they? I mean, assuming this nonsense is actually true, so f***ing what? You are a science teacher. Teach science, for f***'s sake. If the Bible is true, you should be able to teach legitimate science without any fear of driving people away from the Bible. But for some reason, they constantly butt heads, especially on any literal interpretations. It's almost like it's gibberish or something. And
one of the things that I started to do then was to help them understand that evolution has not been proven by science.
I think I might know why you aren't a teacher anymore. Holy shit, really? Worst teacher ever, Jesus. Where did you get your teaching degree? I assume you found it under a bridge given out by some sort of troll. That was not your job. Like, even without the actually misinforming your students, which is frankly despicable and moronic, you were not employed to convert people to Christianity. You were hired to, and I know this might seem a little bit wacky to you, but you were hired to teach science. Yeah, I would have fired your ass too.
And actually, when you understand observational science, it actually confirms the Bible's history.
Nope. Apart from the fact that history and science aren't even the same subject, tell me exactly where science proves talking snakes or magic Healy fellas. It even gets the things like the value of pi wrong, claiming
pi is exactly 3.
Not even joking. And if we based 1,000,001 texts on that, for some reason, they would stop working. And there's no evidence for a worldwide flood, and so on and so forth. Also, of course, the fact that it gets 100% wrong about the way man came to be. I know that you don't think evolution is true, but, well, I can only assume that's because you aren't very smart.
Have you ever heard this?
Oh, jarring. Okay, we're doing this now, are we? I guess Ken was done lying to people, and now whoever this is going to correct all his errors and point out the fact that maybe a science teacher isn't best suited or even within his purview to teach Bible nonsense to students? Although, if I'm completely honest, that's totally not going to happen, is it?
Billions of years ago, there was an explosion in space. Or 100,000 years ago, this happened or that happened.
That is some dismissive bullshit right there. Yeah, science is blah blah nerdy noises. Well, why would you listen to that bunch of dorks? And explosion in space? I mean, there have probably been lots of explosions in space, but if you're referring to the Big Bang, which, let's be real, you totally are, well, that wasn't an explosion. And it's only called the Big Bang because it's a catchy name. But only your lot refer to it as a boomy guy. Science doesn't, because it wasn't, and when it comes to science, they don't tend to say things they don't f***ing mean.
Or even, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Yeah, I've heard that one, but that one is like, well, stupid. Also, it's funny you can't represent the science accurately. You dismissively call it an explosion or whatever, and never something scientifically accurate. But when I dismissively say God did it, or because Bible, I'm both mocking the claims and being accurate about it. Smiley face.
Question: how does anyone know?
Okay, so let's just say we are talking about the actual claims made by science chaps. We don't, but that doesn't mean we aren't pretty damn sure they are right, because you see, they use this stuff called hard evidence, where the things they claim all line up with the things that we can prove. And for some reason, the second bit of your thing there, I don't know why, but it doesn't line up with any evidence. I know, it's weird. At this rate, I don't think I'm going to be believing your ideas anymore. I know.
I mean, was anybody there to observe it? Well, actually somebody was, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Check this out. First of all...
Oh my God, can you stop? I know I talk too much, but that's just ridiculous. Right, was anyone there? No, no one needed to be. Like, when you walk outside and see that everything is wet, you know that it's been raining, and not some guy has run around literally everywhere pouring water on everything. Because we know of clouds and basically how weather works, so you don't need to have seen it raining to know that it rained last night. Also, that bit, well, someone was there, but I'm getting ahead of myself, thing. That was God, right? Okay, but bear with me. How do you know that? Was anyone there to corroborate his claim? Oh, that's right, of course there wasn't. So maybe he's lying, or maybe someone's lying about him. You can't know because you weren't there. What a stupid f***ing argument that really is.
We need to recognize that there is a huge difference between observational science and historical science.
I want to just pivot back to the God lying thing, because I have a fun idea. What if there really is a higher power, but not that powerful? I mean, seriously, who hasn't told an impressionable youngster that they could totally beat up XYZ strong person? Or that they were in a super secret ultra cool badass military, but they can't tell anyone or we'll have to kill them? Just me? Okay, sure. But there are other assholes like me. I checked, and if they had godlike powers, they would definitely make up a shitload of lore for how they are totally the creators of everything, when actually all they can do is lift really heavy shopping bags. Hey, I was impressed.
Both are valuable, but very different.
Yeah, of course. One is just science and what science is and how we know things like the Big Bang, and the other is a term you made up because you're stupid and don't know that history is a different field to science. Is there some kind of overlap? Probably, but the study of the past and the testing of things to figure out how they work are not the same things. Maybe stop.
Let's define the two real quick, shall we?
Right, fine, let's see how you totally don't f this up and make yourself look like an absolute brain melt, shall we?
Observational science is simply when we observe something and experiment to draw conclusions. It involves repeatable experimentation and observations in the present.
So apart from the in the present bit, that's fine, I guess. But does that mean then that any experiments that we have done previously don't count anymore? I mean, they are of historical record, so now they are no longer observational. Well, let's see. what your historical definition is before jumping into conclusions.
It's through observational science that we find cures for diseases and build space shuttles, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and study our environment to figure out what happened a long time ago. That's observational. And to work out how celestial bodies move so we can figure out where they have been. That's observational. And if we trace those observations right back, we could even figure out how the universe formed the way it is. Yet more observations. Thanks, observational science. You do all of the science amazing.
Now, through historical science, we consider things that happened in the past, but they cannot be checked in the same way.
Yeah, I thought as much. They're the same thing, doofus. We don't just consider them, we actually do observational shit to them. We explore, we extrapolate, and we test. And we do it again and again and again until we know for near certain that the idea is correct. The exact same way one proves something about the present is the same way we prove things from the past. It's potentially a little bit more difficult for past stuff, but that doesn't change the fact that those are solid ideas. And your attempting to separate them out is just a dishonest attempt to say, oh, we can't know because blah blah. No, actually, we can. Your shit, on the other hand, well, we can know that that's bullshit too, using the same exact methods of observational science. You really should consider not trying to square science and just saying, poof, it's magic, woo, and leave.
I mean, we don't have access to the past like we do the present because, well, it's gone, right?
Oh, if only there was, like, evidence of the things that happened. If only we could then test that evidence and etc, etc, etc. Are you actually this fucking stupid? Were you born that way, or did you have to go to a special class? I just can't work out if you think that this is compelling to anyone other than the already indoctrinated morons of your fan base.
All we really have is speculation, or at best, circumstantial evidences of past events based on what we see in the present.
You know that circumstantial evidence is like really good evidence, right? Especially when there's a lot of it that corroborates other pieces of evidence to the point where you pretty much know exactly what happened. I mean, sure, you find someone's ID at a car crash, that's circumstantial evidence. But the car that you found it in was also the person's car, and they were reportedly driving it all day. And there's a big, long, bloody trail leading from the wreck directly to their front door. And you start to get the picture that this person was definitely in a car crash without the need for anything like direct evidence, such as a video recording or what have you. Circumstantial evidence, no matter what TV has led you to believe, doesn't mean bad evidence. It just means you need a bit more of it to prove something. Like, you know, like how we have shitloads of evidence to prove evolution or the Big Bang. And now I have said evidence so many times the word has lost all meaning. Which was your diabolical plan all along, wasn't it, you sneaky bastard?
That's not to say that we can't make intelligent guesses about the past or form reasonable inferences from rocks or fossils in the present, but we certainly cannot directly test our conclusions because we cannot repeat the past.
You're not even wrong. We cannot repeat the past per se, but we can repeat things that happened in the past. And we can make predictions about what will happen in the future based on the things that we have worked out about the past. And when those predictions repeatedly turn out to be accurate, we will know that what we have discovered and inferred is in fact correct. Tell me again, what kind of predictive power does the Bible have? And I'm not talking about people will say the Bible is bollocks prediction. Because if I wrote a big load of horseshit, I would write that in it to trick idiots into thinking I'm smart too.
Got it? So, does that mean historical science is unimportant? Not at all.
No, it means that historical science is not really a thing, apart from a weak attempt from your lot to justify the fact that your science has absolutely nothing backing it up, while simultaneously hand-waving away the mountains and mountains and mountains of proof for the things that actually are science.
Let's drop an example down here for a minute and take a look at the Eiffel Tower.
Let's not, and that's it. No, and say we did, because I know for a fact that your example is not only going to be stupid, but it's going to be misrepresentative of anything even remotely reflecting science. And I have a million better things to do. Yes, I do have a million bottles of whiskey. How did you know?
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone.
Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the